Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to use the light linking feature, and this is the feature that I often use on my characters or on some of my objects. Now I don't use this 100% of the time, but I use this pretty often, so it might be pretty useful for you as well. So let's begin. So right here I have a pretty simple scene where I have a Minecraft world, a cube and a character. So I'm using a simple point light which lights up everything in the scene. But let's say I have this point light with like around 1500 power, and let's say I only want this point light to affect Steve. So what I can do is first of all select the point light, then go inside the object data properties over here, and then expand the shading. And then under shading, you're going to have light linking and shadow linking. Now, I don't use shadow linking too often, and I use light linking, so I'm going to show you how to use this and how this works. So while you have your light selected, make sure to expand shading and then light linking. And then right here, you can create a new collection for the light linking. And you can even rename this, but I usually leave this at default, which is called light linking for point. If you have an area light, it's going to be named light linking for area and so on. So now that I have created this collection, what I can do is drag it either the object or either the entire collection from the outliner. So after I create this, I can take the entire collection and then drag and drop this over here. And then as you can see, this point light is only going to affect Steve. So no matter where I move this point light, it's only going to affect Steve. Now, if I want my light to affect the cube as well, I can take the cube from here. Instead of taking the entire collection, I can also take just one object. So take this cube and then drag and drop this inside the light linking. So make sure to first select the light source and then make sure to expand this light linking and then take the cube and then drag and drop this over here. And then as you can see, my light is also going to affect this cube as well. Now, if I wanted to affect the entire world, I can also take the entire world and drag and drop this here. So I think I have it here. Take the Mineways world, drag and drop this. And as you can see, it's going to affect the entire world. But I can also customize this further. So let's say I want this light to no longer affect Steve. I can go over here and disable the Steve collection, which is a BPS rig here. So disable this, and as you can see, Steve is no longer going to be affected. It's only going to be affected by the bounce lighting, which is happening from the cube and from the world as well. Now I can also disable the cube, and now my light source is only going to affect the world. So wherever I move this, only the world is going to be affected, and Steve and cube are only going to receive the bounce lighting. Now, what you can also do is, I don't use this too often, but you can also use the shadow linking. So basically, if I want Steve or cube to not cast any shadows, as you can see, Steve cast a shadow here, the cube cast a shadow over here. So let's say I don't want them to cast any shadows. Again, select my light source, make sure to expand the shading tab over here under the object data properties, expand shading. And now under light linking, we have shadow linking. So expand the shadow linking, click on new. Now take your cube and then drag and drop this. And I'm also going to take my character again, drag and drop this over here. And now if I disable the cube, watch what's going to happen here. If I disable the cube, as you can see, the cube is not going to cast any shadows, which is not realistic and you might not want to use, but there might be some use cases where you're going to use this feature, so it's good to know them. I can also select the character over here, disable this, and as you can see, the character is no longer cast any shadows. So yeah, this is how you use your light linking feature. Also, one thing to note, I'm using cycles. I don't know if this works in Eevee or Eevee Next. I haven't looked into that. So if you're using Eevee, then I'm not sure if it's going to work. But if you're using cycles, light linking and shadow linking are going to work really well. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. That's it for now, and I will see you in my next video.